Hello, welcome back to another video of JavaScript. In this video we will talk about Callback Hell, or we can say it as a pyramid of doom. Okay, so before going to this particular topic, remember that you should have the basic understanding of what is a callback function and how we perform a asynchronous operation in callback. So before this video we have created two videos on callback. You can watch that particular video and then come back to this one, because if you don't have the understanding of the callback in synchronous and asynchronous operation, then this video will be little bit difficult for you to understand. Okay, we know that JavaScript is a asynchronous and non-blocking and single-threaded programming language. It means only one process can be run at a time. In case of JavaScript programming language, Callback Hell is generally refers to an inefficient or ineffective way of writing code in asynchronous call. So you should have the understanding of what is asynchronous call. Okay, so we have discussed in our previous video, you can see that one. Okay, and this particularly callback also known as the pyramid or dome, because when we write the code it takes the structure of the pyramid, so that's the reason it also called the pyramid of doom. And the callback hell in JavaScript is referred to as a situation where an excessive amount of nested callback functions are being executed. Okay, how the nesting of the execution process is actually happening in the code, I'll show you that one also. It reduces the code readability and maintenance. This callback hell situation typically occurs when dealing with asynchronous operation request, and such as making multiple API requests or handling event with complex dependencies. Now, to understand this callback hell, consider a scenario where you are building a web application that involves fetching user data. So first we'll fetch the data of the user, and after that it will fetch their post, and after that it will fetch the comments on that particular post. So you can see that there is three different approaches, there is three different calls there. First it will fetch the data of the user, then it will fetch the data for the post of that particular user, and then it will fetch the comments for that particular post. So here is three dependencies there. So you have to remember that in this scenario, when you try to fetch the data on a dependencies manner, then callback hell will happen. So to simplify this scenario, let me show you in the Visual Studio and their call, then it will be a little bit easier for you to understand that pyramid of dome and the callback. So in this code you can see that we are calling a function, okay, and it will take a user ID, and after that a callback function will be there, because to fetch the user it will take some time. When you will fetch the user data, it will pass to the another function, that is the callback function. So for this example, in this example you can see that it is actually calling a callback function, okay, and it will pass the data of the user data. So this will start from here, this will be end from here, as this is a callback. And after that you can see that when it is getting its user data, it is showing to the user that this is the data for that user. After it will get the data of the user, it will fetch the posts of that particular user. So for that it will send the ID of that particular user, and it is taking a callback function which will return the user post, right? So when this operation will happen, it will get the all post of that particular user. So once the user post will be fetched from that callback function, it will again try to fetch all the posts comments. So to fetch the comments, what it will do, it will send the post ID, and with respect to that post ID it will call a callback function which will try to get all the comments. So when this particular callback function will execute, then it will get all the comments, and this dependency can happen till multiple levels. So as you can see that it is making a callback chain and dependencies, and it will look like the DOM. So if it will be go like this one, multiple level 3 4 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, then to understand this code it will be little bit difficult. Okay, and if you want to see the body of those functions, so if you want to see the fetch data function, so you can see there we have a fetch user data, also we have fetch user posts, also we have a fetch post comments, and it is whenever actually fetching the user data, then we are taking the user ID and then callback function. In case of fetch user post, we are taking the user ID and then we are taking one callback function, right? And again after that, when we are fetching the posts comments, then we are taking the post ID and then we are taking callback function. And in each and every section you can see there is a asynchronous call, and this asynchronous call to get the data, it will take 2 seconds of time. So in this form we are and you can see that we are getting the data here. We are taking the data in this form. Again in case of post, we are taking the data in this form. Also in case of comments, we are taking the data in this form. But in real life scenario, for each and every function there can be multiple number of lines, and there can be a API call can be there. To understand this code and to read this code, it will be gradually difficult when the level of dependency will increase. So this is a problem in case of multiple callback function, if there will be. So that's the reason this callback is called actually callback hell and pyramid of DOM. And now let me try to save it and run this code, then it will be easier for you to see the result. So it will get the data for the user. Now it is fetching the data for the post, and at last it is actually fetching the data of the comments which is related to the post. So user data, so this comment is actually dependent on the post, and post is actually dependent on the user data. Again if you try to run it, then you can see it is taking 2 seconds, then it is getting the data user, again 2 seconds, post again 2 seconds, then comments. Okay, so this is the dependency and it is running on the asynchronous mode. Okay, now one question may arise, that is there any solution for this one? Yes, obviously we have a solution. To address this callback hell, developers often use alternative approach such as promises, async wait, or modularization of the code to improve the readability and maintainability. So we'll talk about promises, asynchronous wait in our subsequent video. So at this point of time, just focus that the nested callback occurs as each asynchronous operation depends on the result of the previous one, right? So this structure make the code harder to read, especially as more operations are added to that particular callbacks. So it can be challenging to track the flow of the code, leading to what is commonly referred to as callback hell or pyramid of DOM. So I hope you understood the concept of callback hell. If you have any question, you can ask it in the comment section. We will try to give you answer as soon as possible. So thanks for watching this video. We will talk about the promises asynchronous wait in our subsequent videos, later videos. So thanks for watching this one. Bye bye, see you in the next one.